Welcome back to the Checkered PS4 NASCAR League, everybody. I'm your host, Morris4173, and tonight we'll be running the Allied Steel Buildings 200 Busch Grand National Series race at Dover National Speedway located in Dover, Delaware. And tonight I'm not alone like last night. I got driver the number 10 Ford Mustang over the Western Cup Series, Tegan Jones, aka GT Jones, also known as the reigning champion of the Busch Grand National Series. How you doing tonight, Tegan? I'm doing all right. Now, you mentioned that you said earlier that you were able to run some laps and get a feel for the car around Dover. So, what did you learn about your little short, brief practice on the track?
I've learned that you run the hot line, you can, if you're not running that, so nobody's learning.
The stages tonight is going to be 22 laps, which is the same as the Truck Series ran last night. The only change between the two series is that in the Truck Series they won 3 times where the Cup and National Series they won 2 times where. So so unlike last night, you're able to make it to the end of the stages on fuel and tires, and you're going to have to make at least 3 pit stops in tonight's race rather than I'd say like 5 or 6 last night. So what do you think? Are you going to keep your eyes on tonight? Well, I'm going to keep an eye on Blind Guy because he's been pretty fast this season. It's been a career year for him so far. He's got 3 wins on the season. Try to go back to back tonight. He won last week at Kansas, so it'll be interesting what he can do here at Dover. And tonight it's going to be the last race for the Dash for Points as well. And the 4 drivers going for the Dash for Points tonight are the 2 Trainer, the 7 Sports Kid, I believe it's the 8 KOW, and the 11 Mud Dude. They're the 4 drivers going for the bonus points tonight. And whoever gets the most points among those 4 drivers after tonight's race, accumulated from the last 3 races combined, then they'll get a 15 extra points towards the regular season championship, which will come in handy when the playoffs come near. Like you mentioned, it's going to be a 1-lane group track, which is pretty much not how Dover usually works. So, do you think most of these drivers be trying to you want to test out the outside lane, or you just want to stick on the bottom all the way long?
I don't think they'll test it tonight. I think they've tested it. They already have before. And they may be some tests in practice that they're doing right now, but during the race, unless there's something terribly wrong on the car, I don't think nobody's going to be up there just not turning. I mean, they have to not turn at all to have to turn their column. You could run it, but you're not going to be fast. Your power is going to be really bad, so there's no point in running it. It's going to be a fight to the bottom tonight. Maybe keep arcing in, kind of dominant maybe, but other than that, it's the 1-lane racetrack.
Well, I believe they're currently in practice right now. Unfortunately, we won't be able to look at whoever's going to be the fastest here tonight. But from what I've seen as of last night, I saw there's only I think 1 part-timer in tonight's race. I believe that would be Weasel, who's driving the 61 car tonight. He didn't win the truck race last night, but his past experience here at Dover, his last race here, he swept the stages, and he finished second, I believe, to Ed Fire. And you won in that race last year. So what did you learn from Dover last year that might help you tomorrow night?
power word that you might have to figure out what kind of business to count try to make results over
While we have a minute, we'll take a look at the driver lineup here tonight. We got the CFNL Sports kid, who not that long ago was actually winning full time in the Cup Series, but he won 2 races in the year. He won the Daytona 500, and he won. I can't remember the other race he won, but it was unfortunate news that he had changed the series, because his work schedule didn't want to be nice to him, unfortunately. So he can no longer win Cup races, but he still has time to win the National Series races. So what do you think Sports Kid going down to the National Series means for the other drivers in the National Series that have been in the series since day one, basically?
I would say kind of stuff from National Series. I think the sports brings the whole, he's on a whole different level. And it's nothing against the National Series drivers. I mean, I wrestled them last year. I would say the same thing. It's sports coming in, and I would say this year too. So it's just the way it is. He's fast as hell. He knows he's fast and can save his tires. And there's 2 or 3 of them that do that in the Cup Series this year. And he was one of them. It's a good feather in the cap for Austin. It's another job that's going to get shot away from the championship. So, I say that's probably the Final Four. There's just no way, let's say, this is playoffs. I think they're shooting. Other 2, I don't know. Sport tournament series. It's kind of like that. You can dominate. You can have races for the little bit of it. You're going to have to try to get things straight.
Yeah, if we look at the points standings right now, he is just outside the top 10 in points, but however, he's in that area where if he gets a win, he's automatically guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. So if he can get that win, I would not be surprised if when that win will come. It probably could come tonight. But once he gets that win, it's going to be fearful for the other drivers, because I raced for sports before in the Cup Series, and he won a championship in the Cup Series when I was in the Cup Series as well. So he can get it done. Just it's only a matter of time when he'll get the victory lane and get that championship momentum going. Next driver we got is the Warner Nocturnal, who's a teammate to Sports Kid. So he hasn't been able to win a couple races so far this season. He had JC filling for him one race in that one car at Michigan. And how do you feel about Nocturnal season so far?
I really haven't actually paid attention to Nocturnal, to be honest with you. I thought he had some business races, correct?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I was about to say that that caused no stranger to victory lane. It went to victory lane with you 5 times last year and won the championship as well. So that Firefly J #1 car knows how to get to victory lane. Next car we got is the 86 new driver. I think his name is Ronnie Prickett. I think that's his name. He in his first race here in the National Series, first or second race, I think it's his first race, he won Charlotte, and so he already punched his ticket to the playoffs. So he's only won, I think, 2 races so far this year. He won at Charlotte, and he finished second at Kansas. So not a bad way to start off your National Series campaign with two straight top 2 finishes, would you say? Then the next driver we got is Puerto the 18, who last year made it to the championship 4, driving the number 9 car for JRM, and this year he drove ship to the number 18 Toyota. He hasn't had the season that he's wanted to so far. He won I think most of the race last year. I think he won 4 last year. I could be wrong about that, but he was a championship threat last year, and so far he's not living up to the expectations we all thought he would get to. But it's been a mix of bad luck and inconsistency. So do you think would it be surprised to see him make it to the Final Four once again this year?
I don't think he's caught on to it yet. I think he's had some personal stuff going on. From what I can tell, off to and everything. I think if he ever gets that squared away, I think he'll start being competitive, really competitive, right up there with Ryan.
Then the next driver we got is I think one of our part-timers tonight. That'll be Incog in the 42 car. No stranger to Incog driving the 42. He got a win in the Cup Series earlier this year at Las Vegas, and he got I think a Truck Series win. I think I don't think he actually won a Truck Series race. Now I think about it, but he did get the pole for a couple of events in the Truck Series, and I don't know. Now I think about it, I don't know if he won a national race so far this year or not, but what do you think? Do you think he'll learn anything tonight that could possibly help him tomorrow night?
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Racing he called not an underdog. He's always in the national series. I think he really caught on toward the end of the year last season, and he got like that Homestead championship race. It probably meant he only ended by last season instead of easily. So yeah, he called always a threat in the national series.
The next driver is Wine Guy in the 9, who's been on an incredible roll so far this season. He's already picked up 3 wins on the season. One last week at Kansas. So, do you think he can go back to back tonight in Dover and make it 4 in the season?
Yeah, I really do. I think he's might go through his teammate to do it. One of them. But I think Ron Guy crashed completely this season for it all. Win for I think point leader. I think he can threat for the championship. I think there's a really good shot with him contending for championship against the Rebels. I think it's going to come down to those two top.
Next driver we got up here is the 11 of Mud Dude, who started off a little slow when he came into the league late last year, but ever since ever since this season, I think it was like Atlanta or like Texas around that time, he started to show his true strengths, and he's become one of the up-tier drivers, so to speak, trying to compete for wins. Coming off of that incredible second-place finish in Richmond a couple weeks ago. So, what do you think? What do you think of his chance to win a race tonight?
Not racing him a lot, not racing around him. I think he's really going to have to be on his game this track. He's going to be the junior cars, awesome cars. So he should be contending top 5, maybe, but he's really going to have to follow away.
Then the next driver we got is Weasel, driving the 61 car in the National Series. Like we mentioned, he almost won this race last time we were at Dover, and just like Incog, he's winning the Cup race tomorrow night as well. So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Incog. Do you think he'll win anything tonight that could help him tomorrow night?
There's some difference in these Cup cars in this game and nationwide cars, but they're just pretty much on the same line. So whatever he runs tonight, if he gets in something, he's going to be good tomorrow. So and that's mostly why we run these races, especially us three this year, because we're new, is to learn for the next race, but maybe not. Yeah, we go out there and run, have fun with the next time, some good races and things, but we're really here to learn the tire wear and what goes into the nickname.
And we got one more drive. We got a couple more drives to go over. We got we got KOW in the 8 car, who's been the most consistent driver in the National Series so far this season, and I spotted for him at Iowa, race 2 of the season. So, do you think he'll be able to keep up this consistency in order to contend for a win possibly in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, it may not be today, but I think he's picking up some stuff. He's learning. He runs other leagues. I know that he was with us at many times. Yeah, he takes the whole race before he finally gets on it. He uses the race at the practice session basically. Once we start hitting these tracks again, he's second time. I think he's going to be way better. I don't know about contending for wins all the time, or maybe a championship, but I think he's going to be consistent. I think he can be contention top fives every week once he starts hitting on, figuring out how to ride these tracks.
And the last drive we're going to go over before I'll start put number 2 of the live stream, it's going to be Trainer in the 2. Just like Lion Guy, he's had a career year so far. I think he's got 2 wins on the season, I believe. But no, 5 wins on the season. Excuse me. He got his 5th win last time at Richmond a couple weeks ago. So he actually hadn't shown up to a race. I think he didn't show up last week at Kansas. So that's a little interesting. But how do you feel about Trainer's chances of trying to become champion this year?
Trainer was big. Trainer was good last season when he showed up. I think he missed a couple races last season too. I think took him out of contention to the front forward. But I mean, he's already got a lot of wins this year. He's got the playoffs. When the playoffs start, he might be able to kind of coast his way into it. But I think he is a truly the top underdog sleeper pick compared to the junior motorsport runner. So, he may be in contention to win tonight. Because I raced against him at Coco for the win, and he was really good on power wear and stuff. So he's really doing power wear tonight. I think he's got a good shot tonight.
Alright, and that's your driver lineup of tonight. That might be updated as the night goes on, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, thank you for tuning in to part number 1 of the live stream, and part number 2 is going to come up here in about a couple minutes, and me and T are going to be right here getting ready to call the action for the race when it gets going, and hopefully we can see what these guys have what it takes. See y'all in a minute.